All right, everybody. I'm out here at the boat. The video I shot where I went on the lake for the first time and I couldn't get it to go on plane. So I talked to Jamie over at the Bass Pro at the tracker shop, and he said to check a couple things. So here's what I'm checking. I'm going to show you right now. All right, and some of you may just know just by looking at this right off the top, which I didn't. Again, first boat, first motor. Even though I've got a short shaft motor, this is my Mercury 25 horsepower, and I've got a really skinny, narrow, whatever you want to call it, short transom on the back. This is a 2-foot level, and you can see that, I don't know, this isn't even, it's not even a 2-foot transom. So he said put the level under the boat and find out where the bottom of the boat hits and where it goes in relation to the prop itself. This back point of the prop should be between 1.5 and 3 inches. I'm pretty sure I am off. Let me see. All right, so what I think I'm supposed to do is supposed to measure from where the level came across to here, which shows where the bottom of the actual boat is, to the prop. And I thought he said to this part of the prop, which maybe is center on the prop. I'm not sure, right here. But that's what I'm going to measure to and see how far away it is. I know the tape is hard to see probably on video, but I'm going to try to guesstimate middle. Oh, I'm way off. Golly. I'm like this is like 6 inches. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. So there's the end of the tape right there, and that's where it goes to the middle of this. So I'll confirm what it's supposed to be, but I'm gonna have to raise my motor somehow. Looks like at least 3 inches up, which is gonna be weird because this all right, so top of the transom to, dang, why can't I remember what these are called? So top of the transom to the top of the gunnels is almost 4 inches. So I'm going to come up at least 3 inches, which means this is going to, right here, I'm going to have to pull that up. You can see where the 3 is here. I'm going to have to at least come up to that, and I'm going to have to mount something all the way across this, most likely. I don't know, I might be able to put something just here, but to make it stable, I'll probably have to run it further across it and get a number of bolts or screws or something in it to connect it to the transom and raise it up. So I guess that's what I'm doing Saturday, is raising the back of my motor up. All right, y'all wish me luck. We'll try that first. All right, y'all. I don't think I've given a full tour of the boat, at least not since I had done a lot of the renovations and stuff to it. There's my dog, perfect timing. So let me do that now, and hopefully I can give you a good bird's eye view, sort of, kind of, and also some of the small detail type stuff. We'll just see how it goes here. All right, so here's the view from the front. I still have the original, I think that's just for tying off the rope, but it's really cool looking rope tie, if that's what that is. Original light's still intact. I've got it working. I'll try to turn that on if I remember it. And covered bows original. Kind of a wide gunnel going all the way around. I guess you say gunnel or gunwale. I don't know, people say it different ways, I guess. And that's kind of a little bit of a view from overhead. Let me get closer for the decking and everything else. All right, so here's the side. Trolling motor, you guys have seen that, where I mounted that. I really like the wheel wells, but I'm gonna have to figure something out because they're really close to my tires. Front deck, and I may be putting a seat up there, at least a butt seat, because the last time I fished 2 different places. If you've seen that video, of course this may be on the same video, I'm not sure where I'm putting this one, But I was, man, my legs are tired from standing up the whole time. I didn't think it would get that bad. So I did take water on a while back. That was on a previous video. Here's my switches. I only have a few of those hooked up. Storage here. Oh, I forgot I took that off to clean it and try to get all the crap off of it. But there's storage down in here. That didn't work right. All right. Now this is supposed to be for lure storage. Recently, I decided I was going to use it as a cooler. It's not a very good cooler, but threw some ice in there and a couple of drinks. And look, I forgot I actually left a Dr. Pepper in here. That's a darn shame right there. There's probably a water in there. I'll just leave that in there. But you know, I may use it as a live, oh, not a live well. I may use that as a little mini cooler here and there. In case I forget one, then I just tape up. There's little holes in the bottom that I put in a long time ago in order to drain if any water got in, and they clogged up. So I may have to have bigger holes or something on them. But you can kind of see how I did the framing if you didn't see the videos before. And then I don't want that move. There we go. And I just put straps on these. I'm going to do something different with these. I may put the little where you drill in, put the little handles in. I may do that, but I'm not worried about that right now. And this is just the same thing. It's another storage. Got a few things in there, bug spray and a couple other things, but generally I'd be putting my lures in there. This side is where the battery and other things are. So I got, dang, come on, Tim. Got my battery for the trolling motor is up here, and you probably won't be able to see it, but back there I've got my charger that I've got plugged in. Well, I don't have it plugged in now, but that's where I've set that at. Let me see if I can find it here. I think I might be able to show this to you. So from the first time when I took it out recently, I realized I need a way to, I got to find places to mount my cameras, because I'm going to mount them here, at least temporarily, and that's way too close to see me fishing up here because it's not that far from the deck, and I'm not sure how I want to mount it up in the front. I don't want to drill any more holes, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. And then steering console. Seats, these are the original seats that came with the boat. I just cleaned them up a little. Need to clean them again. And oops, red one is here. And then the back deck. I haven't tried sitting back there to see how it feels. Eventually, I'm going to change this out to something that I can take it in and out and move it if I need to, because it kind of got in my way when I was out fishing the other day, trying to get back to the motor to prime to do everything else. So I've got my big paddle is under here in case I need it, and in here is the rod rack. Man, I forgot to even put that rod in there. So we got rod rack, or rod storage, I guess you'd say. I think I got it where I can put 5 in here. Looks like it slid out. I got to figure that out. So I got 5 in there, and then that's where I ran the wiring for the charger, goes up through there. Reuse some of the aluminum that was in the base of the boat. I wish I had used aluminum here. I didn't have enough. I'm gonna have to redo that whole area when it got water damage a while back. So I've got to redo that. Steering wheel, throttle control, and then back here in the back, I'm gonna have to replace the lights. I got some lights that mount on top of the poles. They just slide down and run on top somehow. Maybe that won't be as wide because I've been having a problem getting out of my gate with those getting real close to the sides of the gate. I thought I made that gate really wide, and I did, but it may not be enough. And you may have seen these on other videos. This is the rear storage. This is the rear storage area. Gas tank, 6-gallon, battery for the motor, for the starter, and then bilge pump down in there. Oil, in case I need to add oil, well, to the actual gas tank, because it's a 2-stroke. And I got plenty of gas. I'm going to let a little bit out of that one. It always seems to do that. I guess it's just because it gets hot. But I've got still almost a full tank of gas. Of course, I didn't drive it very much the other day. Can't drive it on Marabone. So, but I think this is part of the reason why I'm leaning to the right potentially. It's because I got me, my big butt, my trolling motor, which isn't real heavy, but it's heavy enough, and then the gas tank. It's all on the right side. I don't know where I'd move the gas tank, and I can't move my seat. And I'm not moving anything else. I may have to redistribute some other weight on the left somehow. I really don't want to have to move and redo everything back here in the back and put the gas tank on that side, but down the road I may have to. We'll see. Oh, 1991 25 horsepower Mercury with a freaking brand new expensive carburetor that I put on, I guess in the spring maybe of this year. And this is what, this may or may not have been on another video. It'll be on one at some point, but I'm too far down. My prop is real low compared to the bottom of the boat, and so I need to raise it up and at least 3 inches. So that's what I'm kind of working on today. I've watched a couple of videos, but I needed to move this. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I had to get it underneath the carport tonight, and hopefully it's not too windy and rainy tomorrow, and I'll be able to work on it tomorrow. I'll be getting some supplies tonight, hopefully at Bass Pro at Home Depot, to try to raise this. I've watched 2 videos so far on how to raise the transom or to put a plate on it, which I guess is similar to people build jack plates or they install a jack plate. I don't want to go through all that unless I have to. So there's a way to connect something to this, to my transom, and it'll just raise it up a few inches, which from what I can tell it needs to go up at least 3 inches. And hopefully it doesn't interfere with anything else. The hardest part is going to be lifting the thing off and setting it down somewhere and disconnecting all the crap. I may have to build or get a couple of sawhorses and set it on that somehow, because I don't want to lean, I don't want to tip it over. I don't want to lay it down its side. I'd rather keep it straight up. So I got to work on that too. Well, it's days like these that you need a real garage to actually do some work in. But all I have is carport that leaks. Water dripping here and there. Trying to keep everything kind of covered at least. It's already dripped in here a little bit. I just went ahead and moved the whole boat further out, outside the carport a little bit, so I could try to work. And this is going to be a job. I do not want to have to take the motor all the way off, because I don't have anywhere to put it. For one, I'd have to disconnect everything. Fuel line, steering, electricals on the other side. I have to disconnect everything. I may have to do it. We'll see. So the goal is to raise the motor up in order to be able to get the appropriate lift and then plane for the boat itself, since the front end won't go down when I had it out a couple weeks ago. So I watched a couple of videos, so that means I'm a professional now. Not really. So I watched a couple of videos, and I'm going to try to just slide this over, find center, and then I may just mark it where it is now, so at least I know where it was before, and that's probably where I'll leave it. Although I measured from gunnel to the edge and gunnel to the edge there, and I was about a ½ an inch too far this way, but I'm still heavy on the right side anyway, but I don't want to run crooked either, so let's see if we can get it done. Alright, it's still raining, but I think I got all my holes bucketed up, so to speak, and let me show you what I got. So hopefully you can see this from there. I may move the camera in a minute, but I've got my marks where the motor was mounted at. I've already got that on here, so that's the mark. Next step is I got to build a frame basically that will lift this up. So basically my cavitation plate, I think that's what you call it, down here, is too low which means also my prop is too low, which I've said a few times, I'm sure. But anyway, so what I got to do, I've got to raise the whole thing up close to 3 inches. Let me show you. So I'm real nervous, obviously, about putting holes in this boat, and so I'm going to try to only put holes in the top part of the transom, meaning not under what I think is the water line, and that's about 5 or 6 inches down. That's not the water line, obviously. The water line's further down here, I think, but I'm just trying to keep them out of that, even though I know water will hit that and I'll seal it all off. But my concern is raising it too high and then I can't drop it down. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the motor, I'm going to set the tilt all the way up against, all the way down low in the first position, and then measure from there and try to get the cavitation plate even with the bottom of the hull, and that way I can always tip it or I can tilt it to take it up. I don't have an easy way to just raise it up temporarily, run it out to a lake, try it, and then come back. I don't have a way to do that, and I don't have time, and there's no way I can do it today, that's for sure. So yeah, so I'm trying to measure it out and see what I can figure out. Alright, well, maybe on pause for a little while. Neighbor's tree fell and hit the power line out front, so I don't have any power to cut. I've cut most of the things. Let me show you what I'm doing though. I can at least do that while I'm waiting. So what I decided to do was to go a little more similar to a couple things I saw online, which is to do not a jack plate, but something similar to a jack plate. Let me see if I can put this together at least a little bit for you here. Okay, so this is the part. So I got my angle aluminum here and here, and I decided to get, I've got some, this is hardwood flooring that I've cut down, and I'm going to seal it, although it's got a seal on the top. I'm going to seal it up real good and glue two together. I've already got them glued together in the middle here, and then I'm going to glue them up so that they'll stay together better there. And then this is going to mount on the back of the transom. I can't show you how I'm doing that because I haven't secured these yet. I'll have to drill through and screw through these to hold them on here. I'm not doing a what do you call it? I'm not doing one that's adjustable. Just not. And then here, what I'm going to do is, so I'll attach that up against the transom, and it will be up 2 inches above the top of the transom, and then I'm going to connect these onto the back side of my transom mount there, because these fit just about perfectly in between, if you can kind of see that, where the metal is on the outside here, and then the inside edge, it's really close, and I think it'll fit nice. And then I'm going to put another board behind this and have it go all the way down and hold this up, and so it'll be almost like I'm setting it kind of right on top of the transom, and it'll be on both sides of it, and then I'll bolt through it. So that's my plan. I can't do a lot right now, power's out, I can't cut, but I might be able to glue this up and put some other things together. It's gonna do it on that. What's up, everybody? So I'm back at it, trying to get this transom raised. So okay, there's good things here and there's bad things here. Today it's probably maybe 40 degrees and it's already going, you know, it's colder than that. The good thing is there's no mosquitoes, but the bad thing is it's freaking cold and my feet are freezing with 2 pair of socks on, and but I'm trying to get this done. I got a couple of days off and I got to do it. That's all I got. So let me show you where I am so far. All right, so this is the plate that's going to go on the back. I got to touch it up a little bit. Some of the paint got scraped. It may not even matter. I don't think it's going to stay on anyway once I get the motor on it. But this is what I came up with. And what I'm going to do, you can kind of see the side here. I was going to do a lot of other things on the top of the transom, and I don't think I need to, because I think with the pressure and the weight, and then I'm going to drop it down on here. So I got to drop down. I've got the thick angled iron. I think this is 1/8 of an inch. This is the thickest they had at Home Depot. And I'm trying to raise this up 2 inches. And I may or may not put some lead over the top. I don't know if I'm going to do that today or not. I did buy some stuff to put over there. I also have some spare metal pieces, but I don't have a lot of extra stuff. But my hope is that once this is on here, I'll be able to get the clamps. If you can see those, one of them's broken off anyway, but the clamps hopefully will push it up against this. But I need to secure this. I'm going to pop rivet that in real quick. I'm going to put some bolts through here. I'm going to go through the side here where the actual aluminum is. So I'll go basically through the wood, through this, and all the way through. I didn't have enough metal to kind of go on both sides of this. I'm just not gonna mess with that right now. We'll see how it runs next time I have it out. Well, it is almost 6 o'clock and it has been dark since, like 5, which is stupid. But anyway, worn out. I think I've got it to where it'll actually not fall off the boat. That happens, well, I mean, it doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. Anyway, all right, here we go. I'll show you. Well, because I didn't measure 100% great, which is not a good sign for me. But anyway, I had to add this piece, and I've screwed it into this just temporarily. I'm gonna have to do something. It's still not sitting all the way down, which is not good. I realize that, but I can't get it to go all the way down because the way I made this part in here, well, because I didn't measure right. I thought I had a little over 3 inches, but I forgot to measure the thickness of the actual the screw-in plate part that actually hits up against it, and so I'm off like a good 1/4 inch, almost a little more than that, and it won't fall down to on top of the existing. It won't fall down closer to the transom, so I don't like it. I don't know if I'm going to run it like this or not. I may just try it, run it slow and see how it goes, and then just say, we'll fix it later. But I've still got to screw in a couple things, but it's just going to have to be tomorrow. It's freezing cold out here. My feet hurt, and my feet are frozen. So I'll catch y'all later.